What's going on, my Jack brother? Coach Scott here. In today's video, we're going to answer the question, if you are skinny fat, should you bulk or cut? Now, there are a lot of videos on this topic, but most of them come at it with a solution that is either black or white, and they completely miss the mark with the most important factor that goes into this decision-making process that's going to increase your chances of success in this current transformation as well as your long-term success in your overall transformation for years and decades to come. Now, first of all, let's define skinny fat, because what I'm seeing referenced as skinny fat in a lot of these other videos is not skinny fat at all. It's just plain fat. Like if some of your bros were joking around with you, they'd be like, dude, you're fat. You need to lose a little bit of weight. They'd never make a comment like, dude, like you're skinny. You put on some muscle or anything like that. Whereas like skinny fat, if you're wearing a shirt, a lot of people may make a comment like, oh wow, like you're so skinny. How do you stay so skinny? You take your shirt off and like, oh wow, you've got a belly on you. I never would have guessed you had a belly on you. You're carrying around a fair amount of fat, but you don't have much muscle at all. Now, this is purely observational, but I'd say most of my fellow bros who are skinny fat tend to be ectomorphs, or maybe ecto-meso kind of blend. So they're smaller framed, smaller stature. I mean, some of them can be tall and lanky, but I think a lot of them are around my size, like smaller guys. I weigh less than 150 pounds. Guys that tend to be like 5'8" or less and weigh less than 150 pounds, and likely, no matter how much muscle they put on, will likely never be above 150 pounds. And I tend to attract a lot of coaching clients who are very much like me in stature, mainly because they can relate to my story. They can relate to my journey, and when they are about to embark on their transformation journey, it's a real emotional dilemma. It's not just a black and white decision-making process. If you are X amount of body fat percentage, you should cut. If you're X amount of body fat percentage, you should try to gain muscle right now. This is not purely a numbers game. We don't embark on a transformation journey to hit certain numbers. We embark on this transformation journey because we want to look our best, feel our best, live our lives to the fullest with confidence, pride, zest, and vitality. And for those who are facing this skinny fat dilemma, their confidence is taking a hit from two different sides here. On one side, your confidence is taking a hit because you're feeling very uncomfortable with the amount of fat that you're carrying around your midsection there. On the other side, you are feeling a lack of confidence because of how small you're feeling, the lack of muscle that you're carrying on your body. You're feeling skinny. So it is a real emotional dilemma. It is not about numbers. And it's because of this struggle where your confidence is taking a hit from feeling too small or skinny, and your confidence is also taking a hit from feeling fat, that someone who's skinny fat tends to flip-flop between bulking and cutting. They'll cut for just a tiny little bit and then start feeling too skinny. So then they start to bulk up a little bit and they're feeling too fat, and they just kind of stay stuck in limbo, really never giving themselves enough time to achieve the level of leanness that they desire, and never giving themselves enough time to build quality muscle that's going to make their physique look more impressive. So what you need to do as someone who is struggling with this skinny fat dilemma is to pick a goal and to commit to it fully and completely with absolutely everything that you got, and no one can make that decision for you. There's no number or calculation that is going to suit you best. What you need to do is decide which one of those pain points affects you more. Are you feeling a greater hit to your confidence because of the excess fat that you're carrying around your midsection, or are you feeling a greater hit to your confidence because of how small you're feeling? Now, if you decide that your confidence is taking the greatest hit from the excess body fat you're carrying around your midsection there, you want to embark on a cutting phase before building muscle, the greatest advice I could give you is to give yourself permission to be light. That resonated deep within the core of my being when I embarked on my transformation journey, the big transformation journey. 11 years ago, I dropped 50 pounds of fat, ended up weighing 137 pounds at the end of that transformation. So when I hit that 150 pound mark, it was a huge blow to my ego. It was a huge mindfuck. I'm like, get to that point. I mean, I heard advice from other guys when it came to bulking and cutting that if you weigh less than 150 pounds, you should bulk. There's no way you should be cutting if you weigh less than 150 pounds. So that always stuck with me, but I'm like, but I haven't achieved the look that I desire. And then I got to 140 pounds, like, holy smokes, I'm not quite at the level of leanness that I thought I would be at 140 pounds. I thought I'd have a complete six-pack abs at that point, so I had to drop 3 more pounds to achieve that look. And most people would have never guessed I was 137 pounds at that point. Even to this day, like right now at 147 pounds, 146, 147 pounds. I get comments. I just got a comment last week from a guy who said that I look like I was 180 pounds. A lot of guys assume I'm like 170 to 180 pounds, not 146 to 147 pounds. So what do I care what that scale number says? And one of the best things about taking the approach of getting lean first is that it gives you that foundation. Like, you see what you're working with, what you're going to build upon. You actually see your genetic structure there and your genetic frame that you are going to be building upon throughout the muscle building process. And if you do decide that you want to go through a cutting phase first, I highly recommend you do everything within your power to make sure that you are preserving what little muscle mass that you do have. So you want to take a nice slow and steady approach. I'd recommend probably around that 0.5% of your total body weight per week. You want to make sure that you're performing smart, intelligently programmed, hypertrophy focused workouts. You want to make sure that you're doing everything you can in your power to recover at the best that you possibly can. So great quality sleep each and every night, 7 to 9 hours there, making sure that you're managing your stress really well, making sure that your workout is structured in a way that is promoting active recovery in addition to your weight training sessions there. So everything you can to preserve your muscle mass through this cutting phase process before moving on to the muscle building phase. And if you decide that your confidence is taking a greater hit from feeling small and skinny, so you're going to start by building muscle before you cut, you're going to make sure that you are comfortable with gaining a bit more fat throughout this process. You're going to look a little bit fatter than you are right now, so you got to be comfortable with that, knowing that you're going to look bigger and more muscular at the end of the day. And you may not look quite as fat because you are carrying more size around. So that is a great worthy goal as well. Like, there's no right or wrong here. It's all going to depend on what is the greater emotional impact that it's going to have on you personally. So you want to make sure that you're taking a nice slow and steady approach with this muscle building phase. It's not like permission to get fatter, like fast. You just take a nice slow and steady approach. You want to make sure that you're really in this muscle building phase for the long-term commitment here. Like, at least 5 to 6 months of consistent, solid freaking effort in the weight room and eating really well, eating quality nutrient-rich foods that are going to fuel your gains throughout this process. So you can't force feed muscle gains by eating in a large calorie surplus, but you want to make sure that you're providing your body with an adequate amount of calories and an adequate amount of nutrients, micro and macronutrients, to give your body that best chance to build muscle throughout this process. So the bottom line is to forget about the numbers, forget about your scale weight, forget about the body fat percentage, put the blinders on and forget about what anyone else says, because if you do go through a cutting phase, people are going to tell you, damn dude, you're looking pretty freaking skinny there. And if you go through a muscle building phase, you probably have some bros that are like, dude, you're getting a little pudgy there. You've got to know what suits you best. You're doing this for you. You're not doing this for anyone else. I had a client last year, started off, I think it was like 139 pounds, ended up around 125 to 127 pounds. Smaller framed guy, shorter guy in stature as well. Confidence through the freaking roof once he got down there. So that is what we're looking for here. Like, what is going to set you up for the greatest success? On paper, like technically, looking at his size, like 137, 138 pounds, fairly new to lifting, it would have been very easy to say, dude, just build, just frickin' build, let's put on some size. But for him personally, the excess fat around his midsection was bothering him more. And once he got lean, like it was amazing. Just, you see his face light up whenever he was talking about it. And he loved the details of his physique. Like, he looked more muscular, even though he's only like 127 pounds there. So you really got to know what is in your best interest, what is going to skyrocket your confidence the most. So you can go through life feeling your best, looking your best, with confidence, pride, zest, and vitality. And knowing that once you get lean, yeah, you might be really light and look a little skinny at that point, but that is your foundation that you're going to build upon in this next phase, in this next journey. If you, again, the opposite end, if you decide to, hey, I'm going to spend the next 5-6 months building, I'm going to gain a little bit more fat, being comfortable with that amount of fat, knowing that, hey, next 12 weeks, I'm going to take a nice, slow and steady cutting phase here where I'm going to preserve my muscle mass throughout this process and reveal the hard work that I've put through the past 5-6 months of building muscle, reveal the work that I have put here. So again, be true to yourself, put the freaking blinders on, don't worry what anyone else says. Only you know what is best for you. And now it's your turn. I would absolutely freaking love to hear your thoughts, insights, and feedback on this subject matter. So please take a moment to drop a comment down below to share them with us all here. If you enjoyed today's video, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, someone who may be skinny fat themselves, please do me a favor and share it with them. If you want some more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you next video.